What's going on, guys? This is Greg with NC Forestry Mulching in North Carolina. I bought the 299 D2 XHP from Cat in Greensboro, North Carolina, Carolina Cat, and I did a review when the machine was practically brand new, and I wanted to do a 300-hour review with you guys. So I'm gonna try and make it short and sweet and to the point. When I made the first video, I actually made it, I don't remember how many hours. It was like less than, I think it was less than like maybe 20 hours or 50 hours. I don't even know. It was brand new and spotless. Now it's a little different. But however, now basically what I'm doing is I'm just showing, I want to go over some things that you need to look out for if you're getting into the forestry mulching industry, or if you have a landscape company and you're thinking about buying one of these attachments. Some things that you just might need to take heed to, and some things that you know, that some pros and cons about the machine. So let's go for it. First off, we'll start off on the outside. I hadn't had any major issues on the outside. We're at the 300 some hour mark, I think 323 hours, and basically the machine has really given me no issues. The lines right down here, one of these lines, a seal blew in one of the lines one day when I was out on the job. Caterpillar had a quick turnaround. They came out, they fixed it, and I was back in business within 5 hours. Yeah, it's 5 hours wasted, gone, but hey, they come fixed it. They backed up what they said they was going to do when I bought the machine, so I'm happy there. I've done some little modifications, really cheap modifications. Some other guys have really done a lot to seal these machines off. I have got, if you notice this Gorilla Tape right here, I've got it here and here, and right now it looks like crap. Normally I replace it when I pressure wash. I normally put it here, right there. There's none there now. I do that because it just helps keep some of the crap out. It keeps the small materials from being in there, and it's really helped, I feel like. The belly pans and all that stay pretty clean, but I also try to give it a good once over about every 50 to 80 hours. It's getting about that time to give it a good bath and clean it up real good. But I put it in the shop so that I could do the review, and so I could also do a little bit of service on it. So basically, I got my lift arms up right now. I really don't know why I did that, but I did that because I think I wanted to see if they leaked down any. And I mean, I don't know why I did that really. I think so I could get to my mulching head, and we'll get to that in just a few. So basically, when you get into forestry mulching, I had a Kubota first. I would not recommend a Kubota machine for forestry mulching if you're going to do it for extensive amounts of time. I had a Kubota before. When I had 300 hours on it, it was giving me all kinds of fits. I had to ride the cab with a dust mask, and it sucked. This cab, nothing comes into it. I don't have any issues with the cab. Everything seals up really good. Yeah, the cab's nasty, but I'm nasty when I'm out working. So, and I am the only operator of this machine. I had to throw a friend of mine in it when it was snowing. We had about 12 inches to 18 inches of snow here in the Carolinas. So I had to throw a friend in it. He helped me push snow. He was probably in it for 12 hours. But besides that, I've been the only body in there besides my dad taking a look at it and just riding it right here on the land. So basically, I had one track come off. This is my trouble track right here. Other one stays tight all the time. This one wants to loosen up some. I really don't know why. I've asked Caterpillar about it, and they really, you know, they don't really have a definite answer yet. But you want to make sure you keep these tracks greased, and what I mean by that is keeping them tight right there. This little compartment right here, if you just take a wrench, you open that door up, there's a grease fitting in there, and you can tighten your tracks. And you better check it, because it will come off of the machine in the worst possible place, and you will struggle. You'll spend forever trying to get it back on if you don't know how to do it. I've had I've had one complaint that I did not like. Seemed like Caterpillar was really quick about getting me out the door. They were good to deal with, don't get me wrong, but it's like they had a month to prepare this machine, and then all of a sudden, you know, when I get there to pick it up, they're turning wrenches on it. But that's okay. I mean, they got it straight. Everything's good to go. I have no complaints about them. This fitting on the hydraulic, it goes to the hydraulic cooling system right there. This fitting was not tightened properly when I picked the machine up when it was brand new. And basically it leaked down on the muffler on the inside and it caught fire one day with me. And I loaded it up, took it to the Caterpillar place. They tightened it up, checked all the fluids, checked to make sure there was no damage. I was good to go. So that was one complaint, I guess a con about the machine, but it's just it was really lack of on their part. So it's not anything to do with the machine. So many guys run their mouth about these machines that are track loaders, compact track loaders. They call them throwaway machines. Well, they call them that because, you know, after 2,000 hours or 2,000 to 3,000 hour mark, the hydraulic systems running these heads all the time. They're not really designed to run one all the time. My reason for buying this machine was because I have a landscape company, so I can attach a bucket, forks, a snowblower, a Harley rake, whatever I want to do. The machine's quick, it can grade, it can do all kinds of things for me, and I need that. But I also like to mulch, and there's good money in mulching, and there's, you know, you gotta take care of your equipment. I think it boils down to these guys get really busy, and they start, you know, a lot of the maintenance starts kind of slacking. And where it's just me running this machine, I take care of this. I'm the only one that rides in that seat. I'm the only one that mulches in that seat. Maybe that makes a difference. Who knows? Basically, I have no complaint about the outside of the machine. Everything's been good. Like I said, we have one track. The track came off. A hydraulic seal on one of these lines busted one day back here, and that put me down for like 5 hours, so they fixed that. It started skipping like it wasn't getting good fuel, and I know the lighting isn't that great, but right here there's a little fuel filter and there's a big fuel filter. The small one needs to be replaced about every 80 hours. So I just take care of that, and I've had no issues with it. I don't have any issues with it leaking. I hadn't had any issues at 300 hour mark. We're good to go. I did have if you notice this cover right here where the radiator is, I dented this in here. I guess a tree fell on it. I'm lucky it didn't snag anything. But basically, I will tell you, if you're doing a field with like dandelions or any kind of, like, if you're trying to do any kind of bush hogging with this thing, you really want to make sure that you watch your temperature gauges, because the radiator will get full of things like dandelions and anything that's light material that can be sucked in here. It will pack up like a blanket and it will overheat the machine. And if you can just take heed to that, that would be great, because it will save you downtime if you can take care of, you know, keep an eye on that while you're out working. I noticed that my coolant level did drop right before I got my 250 hour service, and I didn't really know why. Caterpillar, when I took it in for the 250 hour service, it's about the same time the coolant level dropped, and they had found a small, there was something wasn't tight and it was leaking some antifreeze, but they fixed it. I hadn't had a problem since. I think I'm on the 300 some hour mark right now, and hadn't had an issue. You want to make sure you keep this stuff clean. I've got an industrial coal cleaner that I clean this radiator with, and you wouldn't believe, a pressure washer does okay. You need something that's going to flush the dirt and grime out of this without putting too much pressure on these little fins on this radiator. because you can damage this with a high power pressure washer, definitely. Heat and coil cleaner will flush this out. If you are cleaning your machine and you're seeing brown water come out of the bottom here, it is not clean. You clean it and clean it and clean it until the water clears up, and most of the time you've got most of the stuff out. But I would definitely recommend getting an industrial coil cleaner to go along with your purchase. When you get the machine, that Caterpillar don't have it, you just have to order it. And excuse me, I've had a cold. Okay, motor's pretty clean. I haven't touched it. It hadn't done anything to it. Air filter's clean. I just pulled it out and checked it. It's right there. It's clean as a pin. I've ran it about almost 100 hours since I got it serviced. Now, it hadn't been dry and dusty. We're gonna make just a metal kind of a bumper or a metal stopper right here, because this is definitely an area that can be damaged very easily if you don't watch out where you're going. But you got this nice backup camera here that will show you where you're going if you don't get in a mad fire hurry. You can see I got into a hurry. Getting this in just a hair. Thank God it didn't hurt nothing. So, things that I've experienced so far, this filter right here will clog up if you are in a very dusty, dry environment. You keep a check on that, and it's not a bad idea to keep one handy. Got the Gorilla Tape over areas that Cat can't seal because they have, you know, lines and stuff running through. I'm sure they could if they come out with a dedicated machine, they will seal it. But right now, I put Gorilla Tape over my holes, my drain holes and stuff, and that doesn't affect it, doesn't make it heat, doesn't make anything, doesn't change anything. It just basically is cheap insurance to keep stuff, small debris out of the belly pan, and it just helps out with keeping it from getting out in your cracks and crevices. I've done that since the first day I owned it, and I will continue. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's get a view of it back here. It's nasty, definitely nasty. Also, that front rubber, I guess, mud guard or whatever you want to call it, mud flap, it's got some tears in it, but I mean it rubs up against everything when you're mulching, so I'm lucky it's probably still there. These machines, guys, go through a lot, and you really want to baby them, because this is an expensive piece of equipment, especially for some old redneck like me. So basically, I've yet to hear this come on. This fan has not come on yet. I hadn't heard it come on. Now, they told me from Caterpillar that the only time I'll hear it is if the hydraulics get too hot. Well, I talked to a gentleman the other day that said his comes on automatically when he turns his high flow on. So I'm going to ask them about that, and I'll let you guys know about that, because that does interest me some. But if you notice, there's some debris in here. I got to take these two little bolts out and take that pan out off on both sides, clean it out, blow it out, wash it out, whatever, and it'll be good to go. The AC works great at 300 hours. Hadn't had any issues with it. Everything on the machine I'm very happy with. I don't have any major complaints with anything, period. And you can see the machine doesn't look terrible to be in the woods for 300 hours, because it's definitely done nothing but mulch. So I think that Caterpillar maybe could come out with a little bit better lighting, because the lighting's good. I think the lighting's good, but I think that if they came out with like an LED bar across, which I'm going to put one on there, but that would be nice if they would have that option, just to have it custom built into your cab. So all right guys, let's go to the cab. So here we are in the cab. You notice that it's really not that dirty. Cab's pretty clean. Let's get in here so you can see. Okay, so we're in the cab, and let's see how many hours we've got on here at this point. Let's turn the radiator down. Okay, so we're at the end of our passcode. You can't see the passcode. Somebody might come steal my machine if I look at the passcode. Just messing with you. Okay, so we're at 340 hours. I thought it was the time is not right there, and the date is not right, so pay no attention to that. I have not fixed that yet. I really hadn't had it. Some cool features with the 299 is it has your operator settings, which is your it's got if someone else is going to be running this machine, you can set this up, all your sensitivity for your bucket, and your snail mode, how fast you want to go in snail mode. There's a lot of things that you can do here, and right now I've got it where it'll go as fast as it will possibly go because I run it all the time. You've also got your fan, your automatic fan that comes on in here. It's this button here, and basically it's not going to do anything right now, but I'm sorry, it's not that button, it's this one. But it's not going to do anything now because it's not started, but that's what blows your debris out. You can set it to where it blows I got it right now. I was working in some stuff where it's every 6 minutes, and it blows for 12 seconds. So and that's just to keep it cleaned out best I can. It keeps the stuff out of the radiator and out of the engine bay some. You've also got your job clock, which is when you're out working, I can reset it, but when you're out working, you got your 0, then you just hit play, and basically play will it comes on when the machine started, but it will let you it'll tell you how much fuel you've consumed, and it will also tell you how many hours and how much time you've got on that particular job. Your service intervals, it tells you engine oil change. It says every 500 hours. I'm definitely not going to change it in 500 hours. It's going to be less than that. So it's probably going to be like it may be around 500 hours because, every 250 hours I'm definitely going to service it. Some guys at Caterpillar was saying, let's change the oil in this, every 500 hours. Like, hell no, because that's just not, that's not what I want to do, because I'm running the dog pee out of this thing. Your diesel filter cleaning, it's got all that stuff. Your fuel filter change, your hydraulic filter change. You got a lot of neat features on here. It's got events and alarms. There's no active events or alarms. You can view the diagnostics of it. You got status parameters, software updates, custom images that you can set for the background. There's a lot of different things, and we can go over there. There's the backup camera right there. So it's definitely a lot of things in the Caterpillar that I like. But I'm gonna tell you the only part I don't like about it. What I do not like about the Caterpillar is I do not like where the AC vents are. I wish they had a few above your head and a couple at your feet, because your legs and your waist stays ice cold or super hot, and your upper body, you stay warm, you stay cool, your whole body does, but your legs stay ice cold or super hot. So that's some things that that may be something they can look into about changing. It works great. 340 hours. The AC works great, heat works great, everything on the machine works as it should. So I hope this video helps you guys. I've had a little trouble with the Bluetooth on the in the cab, and hopefully I can get that worked out. I'll probably do another video at 600 hours, since we're already approaching 500. My first video was at the I guess 0 hour mark, I don't think there was many hours on it when I did my first video, but I'll look at that video and be able to tell you. So this is the second video, part 2 of this $299 review. I wanted to review the Kubota, but I didn't like it enough to even review it, so I just said to heck with it and I sold it. I think Kubota is a great brand name. I think Kubota has it going on with tractors, agriculture, compact tractors. I think they're great. They broke the ground for a lot of stuff, but mulching is something that's a weak link with them, because their machines are just simply not designed to mulch. I personally don't feel that way after owning one. Neither is this machine, but this machine's a lot better. This is definitely not a dedicated machine. If you're looking for a dedicated machine, this is not it. You need to look at a Lamb Track, Gyro Track. There's all different brands out there, Raycos, but you're gonna pay 160 upwards of whatever you want to spend on one of those machines. This machine is about $130,000. When you buy the machine and the head, you can get a little bit cheaper. So $130,000, that's for machine and head. Let's go look at the Dennis Seamoff head. I think I went over that a little bit in the last video. This video, I want to show you what 340 hours looks like on, or 320 hours looks like on the Dennis Seamoff head. Okay, so we're out here looking at it. Doesn't it just look so beautiful? Nasty as crap. Can't hardly pressure wash it. So you may be wondering what this is for. This is nothing but corrugated pipe, and the corrugated pipe is just simply it's just cheap insurance to keep your lines from getting abrasions, getting something happening to them. Getting punctured anyway. So basically I put this on there and it's really helped. Makes it a little bit harder for hooking up to the hydraulic couplers, but it serves its purpose. I mean, it's been holding strong. The reason I done this was because of this little area right here is where that hose likes to lay, and I'm going to get a spring because I need to get a spring so I hold it off the head. But if I would have known what I know now when I got it, I would have went ahead and done this in the beginning so it didn't wear that off. But basically this just sits on that head and it doesn't, it just sits there and rubs back and forth, so it just rubs the crap off. So that's why it's probably where it does it at, right in here. But the hoses are inside there. I just replaced the teeth on this probably 50 hours ago. I run 9 carbides out here, 9 carbides on the outside there, and on the center I run steel teeth from Dennis Seamoff. So far the Dennis Seamoff teeth are the only ones I like, the steel teeth. These are I can't think of what the company's called. They're King Kong teeth. They're carbides, and you can see them. I mean, they're brand new, so there's a lot of carbide on there. But basically, these teeth do really well. This is actually my second set of these teeth, and I like them. However, I like the Dennis Seamoff carbides better. I tried one set of those, but the price point, I think that these teeth do a really good job, and they don't really bog the machine down any more than the other carbides that I had did. So this machine is simple to maintain. So basically in here, in this little area right here, in this box, you unbolt these bolts, it swings open, there's a belt in there. And one day I'll go over how to adjust the tension on the belt. You don't necessarily have to touch that until you get quite a few hours on the machine. The only maintenance on the machine is you have to keep up your teeth, obviously, and then you have to keep up right here. There's a grease fitting there, and there's a grease fitting on the other side right here. And that grease fitting, these grease fittings, you want to put, 2 pumps of grease in them a day. After 8 hours of use, you want to keep them fully greased. Also on the machine, I want to go over this before we hang up here. This, there's 2 grease fittings here. There's 2 grease fittings here. Same on the other side. And basically, you want to keep those greased every day. Every day you work, you want to grease anything you can grease on this machine and keep all your moving components, all your bearings and stuff. You keep this stuff greased up, it's going to last you a lot longer. You keep it clean, it's going to last you a lot longer. Mud and lack of grease will ruin a machine. So basically, that's my 300-hour review. I have no major complaints. Only thing is, Cat didn't tighten the hydraulic auxiliary cooler fitting in the back, and it leaked out some hydraulic fluid. We got it fixed. They were fast to fix that. The hydraulic line beside the track, one of those lines, the seals blew in them, and that's basically it. So at 600 hours, I'm going to go over this machine again with you and kind of let you know where it's at 600 hours, and I'm sure some things probably will change by then, and probably some thoughts of mine will probably change by then, but I'm going to continue to do good maintenance on it and maintain it, maintain it, and run it myself. This is an owner-operated setup here, and basically that's what I got into it for, and that's what I want to do with it. Also, you got one of your fittings up here where you hook your hydraulic couplers. The female fitting where I hook in the head was actually leaking, so they went ahead at 250 hours and replaced it. And that's not a bad, that's not saying anything bad about this machine. Basically what that means is it was leaking because there's a little bitty ring on the inside of your return and where your hydraulic fluid goes in and out of your machine into your head. So basically that little seal burnt, so they replaced that for me, and I told them just to put a brand new coupler on it and give me the other coupler as a backup. And that's what they did, because it's hard to do that when you're out in the middle of the woods. It's so hard when you've been working all day in the heat or the cold. It's a pain in the butt to get out and have to work on this machine. And anything you can do to be preventative, you're always going to stay on top of the game. And that's the only thing I left out, and it's probably because the arms are up in the air, so I didn't think about it. But I'm a little upside down if I would actually go with the automatic attachment system, or I've got the manual attachment system for the attachments. I don't really know if I should have gotten the automatic. I've got the manual. Sometimes it's hard to lock that joker on something, but I got the manual just because I figured that may be better. It's just one less thing that you have to work on. That's one less hydraulic line that you got to worry about, one less hydraulic cylinder. So basically that's where I stand. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully we can see you again at the 600 hour mark, and we'll go from there. Thank you a lot. Take care.